Kevin Stefanski provides update on status of newly acquired offensive lineman. The Browns have seen many changes to their starting lineup since Week 1, with another potential change on the way ahead of Sunday's matchup with Pittsburgh. The Cleveland Browns have already suffered a few notable injuries across their roster, specifically on the offensive line. This has resulted in a few starting lineup changes and substitutions made mid-game to fill in those gaps up front. Another lineup change could potentially be in play for their game in Week 6 against the Pittsburgh Steelers. Through 5 weeks, 11 players have started on the offensive line for Cleveland. 5 of those players were starters during the 2024 season, while the other 6 were mostly those acquired and brought in during the off-season to provide necessary depth. It appears the Cleveland Browns may look to debut their recent trade acquisition this Sunday, offensive tackle Cam Robinson. Robinson was brought in from the Houston Texans last Monday in a trade that featured a swap of future late-round draft picks. This trade came to life after starting tackle DeJuan Jones suffered a season-ending injury in Week 3. It's been a question whether or not Cleveland would be active in the trade market to acquire some help on the offensive line to protect their quarterback, with their decision to debut rookie Dillon Gabriel bringing to light the need for stable play on the edges from their offensive tackles. Browns tackle Jack Conklin was able to return to the lineup on Sunday after missing the last 4 weeks. Outside of Conklin, the depth at the tackle position doesn't feature much experience, but Robinson provides that much-needed experience that the Browns will need the next few weeks as they hope to turn their season around. Cam Robinson has played in a total of 105 games, starting in 102 of them over the course of his 9-year career. Robinson started his career in Jacksonville, making his way to Minnesota and Houston before recently finding a new home in Cleveland. With the potential to see Robinson start this Sunday at left tackle, protecting rookie Dillon Gabriel's blindside is essential against a stout defense Pittsburgh presents. Robinson features a strong run-blocking ability, while excelling in pass protection to give his playmakers all the room to showcase their abilities, giving Cleveland more opportunities to score on every drive, which has been a major issue for the Browns dating back to late last season. With Cleveland only giving up a late-round pick to bring Robinson to town, it provides more flexibility to experiment with different looks on the offensive line in the event Robinson isn't quite ready to start this weekend. The hopes as of Monday are that he'll practice extensively this week, earning reps with the first-team offense, and learning the playbook to boost his chances of becoming the new left tackle for a Browns team searching for a win in their first of 2 games Cleveland will play against the Steelers. The Cleveland Browns offensive line has long been the backbone of Kevin Stefanski's system, strong, disciplined, and built on chemistry. But with a rash of injuries and inconsistency creeping into the trenches, the Browns front office made a move last week that raised eyebrows across the league. They acquired a veteran offensive lineman whose reputation precedes him, a mauler with playoff experience and a no-nonsense attitude that perfectly fits Cleveland's blue-collar identity. Now, the city waits to see when this new addition will suit up in brown and orange. On Monday, head coach Kevin Stefanski broke his silence, providing the first real update on the status of the newly acquired lineman. His tone, as usual, was measured and precise, giving fans just enough to chew on without revealing his full hand. "He's been great since coming in," Stefanski told reporters. "The guy's been professional from the start. We're just taking things one day at a time, making sure he's comfortable with our system before we throw too much at him." That might sound like standard coach speak, but for those reading between the lines, Stefanski's comments carried layers. The Browns' offensive line has been through its share of turbulence this season. Multiple starters have missed time, forcing backups into unfamiliar positions. The result? A run game that's lacked rhythm and a quarterback under constant pressure. So when the Browns pulled the trigger on acquiring a proven lineman, someone with the strength and experience to stabilize things, it sent a message: this team isn't waiting around. The arrival. The unnamed veteran, acquired via trade late last week, landed in Berea with little fanfare but major expectations. His resume boasts playoff starts, leadership qualities, and a history of anchoring physical run schemes. Though Stefanski avoided naming his role outright, it's no secret the Browns are eyeing him as a potential plug-and-play option if injuries persist. Stefanski elaborated on how the player has handled the transition. He's been in a couple different systems before, so he understands how to adapt. What stands out is his football IQ. You can tell he's been in big games. He asks the right questions, he studies the details. That's the kind of presence you want in the room. It's easy to overlook how crucial offensive line cohesion is to a team's success. 5 men have to move as one, like gears in a machine, and even one new addition can throw off timing. That's why Stefanski has emphasized patience. He's been rotating in during practice, the coach added. We're not rushing anything. We'll make a decision later this week about his game day status. Translation: he might be closer than fans realize. Protecting the quarterback. With Dillon Gabriel recently stepping into the starting quarterback role, stability up front is non-negotiable. Gabriel's debut showed promise, but he also faced constant pressure, forcing him into hurried throws and missed opportunities. Stefanski knows that if the Browns are to develop Gabriel or eventually reintroduce Shedeur Sanders into the mix, protection is paramount. That's where this new lineman could make his mark. Scouts describe him as a tone setter, someone who finishes plays with authority and refuses to take a rep off. In a locker room that's had to weather the emotional roller coaster of early season struggles, his presence could be both practical and psychological. Building trust. Inside the facility, players have already taken note. Left tackle Jedrick Wills reportedly spent extra hours with the newcomer reviewing blocking calls and hand signals. Veteran guard Joel Bitonio, one of the most respected voices in the locker room, has praised the addition as the kind of guy who fits our culture. The chemistry is still forming, but Stefanski emphasized that the process is going smoothly. It's not just about knowing the playbook, it's about communication. Our guys have welcomed him in. You can see it during walkthroughs. They're talking, adjusting, helping each other. That's what you want. Fans have grown accustomed to Stefanski's calm demeanor. He rarely shows frustration, even when his team's execution falters. But behind the scenes, there's a quiet urgency to this move. The AFC North doesn't wait for anyone. With the Steelers and Ravens surging and the Bengals rediscovering form, every detail matters. A subtle hint. When pressed about whether the new lineman might see snaps in the upcoming game, Stefanski smirked slightly, just enough to fuel speculation.